Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. Thanks for being here today. My name is Dana and behind the camera back there is my full-time, very frustrated tech guy today. So we're going to see if we can get him out of his frustrated mood. And also my full-time dishwasher and part-time dog wrangler and part-time chauffeur. He has so many hats. He's also going to be our grill master today because look what we are making. Now this.
That's not real.
These are huge. They are double Berkshire pork chops, and they kind of look like they came from the Flintstones. So I'm pretty excited. I've wanted to do double pork chops for a while. The first time I had one, really actually probably the only time I had one, is that I had a friend in town and we went to the steakhouse that's here called Perry's Steakhouse. And I think there's a few across the country, but most of them are here in Texas, and they're known for their double pork chops. But I think they cut the bone off so they don't look quite so, like Fred Flintstone's dinner. So we're going to be making those tonight, and we're going to be making potatoes au gratin because several of you have said, can you make those one night? And so I'm listening. And I love to get your feedback on what you'd like to see. So if you ever have any ideas, drop them in the chat or get over onto social media and drop them on there. Leave me a message, whisper it to me. However, just get it to me, and I will make it happen most of the time if I can get to the ingredients. Hello, Kelsey. It's good to have you here. I called you. You didn't call me back today. But I think that's a personal conversation between you and me. So beyond that, we're also going to make just a nice, simple summer salad and a drink that is a rum drink. And if I had the right kind of rum, it would be called a dark and stormy, but I don't, so I am not allowed to call it that because it's actually a trademark drink. So there we go. So we're going to start. I'm going to tell you how I started these pork chops a couple of hours ago. I rubbed them down with some brown sugar, paprika, salt and pepper. I wrapped them up in plastic, stuck it back in the refrigerator. I got them out just a few minutes ago. We're going to let them sit here for a few minutes while the grill heats up. And Robbie's going to put them on the grill, and he's going to put them on direct heat until they look all nice and marked up. I know it's a lot of meat. Robbie says he can eat a whole one, just not in one day. I'm not sure I could eat a whole one even in a couple of days. And then he's going to put them on indirect heat until they reach about 140 degrees. Normally this would be my mom's recipe file night, but I really just saw these and I was like, gotta make those. Feels true to my family since they only really ate pork and beef. And if my parents had ever made it to Perry's, my dad would have gotten the steak and lobster. My mom would have probably tried the double pork chops. So that feels pretty true. And my mom made all kinds of potatoes, so having potatoes with it feels like it came from my mom's recipe file, even though it really didn't come from my recipe file. So yeah, so we're going to start with the potatoes because the potatoes are going to take the longest to cook. They need over an hour in the oven. And so what I'm going to start by doing here is by peeling and slicing 3 pounds of potatoes. These are russet potatoes. You definitely want to use a starchy potato. I know sometimes we have people in here from the UK. If you can't get on to hey, Kelsey, thanks for subscribing. Thanks. So if you can't get these if you can't get russet potatoes, you want to stick with some starchy potatoes. So you could do like, I think they're called, let me look over here, Sabagos in Australia, even though they were designed here in the United States, up in Maine. And then in the UK, you probably have an easier finding, I think they're called Mars Piper potatoes. or King Edward potatoes would work really well as long as it's a starchy potato. You don't want something creamy like a Dutch Gold or anything. You want them to hold up to the cooking process. So we're gonna peel these babies real quick. And Robbie, he just gets such joy out of watching me spin the wheel of agony. He's already brought it over. You guys can't see it, but it's right there. Such joy he gets out of watching me be in pain. I'm not sure that's really good for our relationship, but then again, his name is Drink More Arsenic.
You just enjoy spinning things, and I know how much it means to you.
I enjoy spinning things.
It's the best I could come up with.
Okay. What kinds of things have you seen me spin?
Technically, Kelsey could have me do it.
Oh, that's right, Kelsey. You could make Robbie do it but if you want to see your mother do it, that's fine too. I do still have a habanero around, so.
Oh, then I'm out.
Wimp. I did the habanero. I could peel these a lot faster. I don't know why I'm being so slow here. These got to get in the oven. You know, while I'm doing this, I could also, you know what I can have you do while you're just sitting over there?
What?
What you can do is you can start making the cream sauce that we need for this. So we need 1.5 cup of the half and half that's in there, 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So I've already got like a cup there to put the melted butter in.
And then I will. Ahead than what I know.
Okay, 1 step at a time. How many of you are like 1 step at a time? Don't give me so many instructions. I get it. I just get ahead of myself. I'm kind of missing the bowl here. What's going on? You can't even see him. Yeah, 1.5 cups.
In there?
Yeah, so Robbie's gonna put 1.5 cups of cream in here. He's putting half and half. So you can use like heavy cream if you want to. It'll make it even richer. But don't just use milk because it doesn't get that nice texture that you want in a potatoes au gratin. You want that nice creamy, gooey texture on them. So I'm peeling slow because I'm stalling for time. I don't think that's it. Sometimes, you know, I like to get stuff over with. I'm like, let's just do it.
I'm busy too.
But he is stalling for time, just, you know, in case it is him.
Butter?
Yeah, 2 tablespoons of butter. So I'm just having him get that part started. And then we also have to grate a lot of cheese, but I may get the food processor out for that.
Is it melted?
Yes. I don't know why you don't melt it in the pan, but it always says to add it in. Maybe it's because you don't bring it up like too hot enough. So yeah. In St. Louis, we have something called pork steaks. And I'm gonna have to talk to the butcher around here because that's not something common in Texas. You don't go and see pork steaks the way they are in St. Louis here. Alrighty, you've got that. What are you doing?
Melting butter.
Oh, so just put 2. So we want touch 1. And we want 1. This way. Start. He's using the melt buttons on the microwave. That can get a little tricky. I'm going to use a mandolin to cut my potatoes because we do want them to be in really good, nice, even slices. And I'm probably going to freak Robbie out here because I'm not using the handle. I do have those gloves in the bottom drawer. So, hey Larry, thank you for following. Glad to see you here. I don't know if you just got here or what, but we're making some Berkshire pork chops. Can you see those babies on the stove? Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. Porks, Kelsey, you said pork steak? You've had pork steaks before. Meemaw made those for you. Meemaw loved her pork steaks. You know, and I used to have a full mandolin, but can I tell you, this is so much easier to store, and it works just as well. Look at how thin those, can you see how thin those potatoes are? Was it? This could be great for the potatoes au gratin. So you want this cut real thin. If you don't have a mandolin, you really do need to cut these thin. Yep. And then it's supposed to be 2 cloves of garlic too. So we're gonna do, I'm trying to do 3 things at once, but if you've been here before, you are probably used to that.
That works well.
All right. Remember, smash your garlic with the knife, just like that. And we'll get this is supposed to go in the butter sauce too, so we have a nice garlic butter sauce. You could mince this if you don't have a little grater, but honestly, get one of these little graters, because these little microplane graters, because they are awesome. I use mine almost every time I cook for something. Probably a wood spoon will work better. If they're all here. See? Oh, are you doing that now?
It was right in front of me. You're contagious.
And if you've watched this enough, you know that I always look for things that are right in front of me, but now apparently that's just off my Robbie.
I must be learning from the best.
All right. Let's get this one done too. So we're gonna, is this on yet? No. How about if we heat this up?
I mean, I guess.
I've also got the oven on at 350 for this. All right, so now we need some cheese grater.
What are you making?
Oh, I am making oh, hi there. Welcome in. We are making, these are double Berkshire pork chops.
They look huge.
They are huge. They are almost 2 pounds a piece. So the recipe actually called for 4 of them. But since it's me and Robbie, and I'm not going to spend that kind of money on meat for the dogs, because it's Berkshire pork. And if you're not familiar with Berkshire pork, it's kind of like a heritage pork, and it's got, I think it has more flavor than the everyday pork that you get. It just cooks better. I don't buy it a lot, so it's not like an everyday thing, but I went to the store and I was like, could you cut me up some double pork chops? And he's like, I can get you some Berkshire pork ones, and I went, perfect. Woo. Okay, so the other things we're making is right now I'm working on the potatoes for the potatoes au gratin. We've got some milk, or some cream and butter and garlic heating up on the stove. Actually, Robbie, I got this. I just want to turn that down. That's really high. I want to put it on like medium low because I don't want it to get too hot. And I'm trying not to cut my finger, because if I do, Robbie will be really mad.
I am very concerned. Now spin the wheel of agony.
I'm concerned you don't get hurt, but I hope you get habanero. Okay, I have to get this assembled in the oven, and then we'll do that. Okay, because we need to grate some cheese.
I'm sure Kelsey is patient.
Kelsey, are you patient? I wasn't sure that was one of the attributes I saw you growing up. But, yeah. Look, there's a habanero. She hasn't decided yet who's going to do this, right?
Oh, I think we know.
I'm going to use to make this au gratin, normally I would use Gruyere, but I have to tell you what, I could not find Gruyere. I went to 2 different grocery stores and the only Gruyere I found was a smoked Gruyere, and for like 6 ounces it was $17, and I was like, you know what, I have some leftover Gouda, I have some Fontina cheese. That's what we're using for our au gratin.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah.
I'll be here all week. Maybe. Uh-oh.
And that is our refrigerator that randomly dispenses ice for us. Okay, let's grate some cheese. I think we'll get the food processor out. How do you feel about cleaning the food processor later?
Sounds great.
Would you like the food processor or do you want to grate cheese?
Food processor.
Okay.
Let's knock it out.
If I can find all the parts. Oh, there it is. This may take as long as just grating it by hand. This is. What is he doing? Was he stuck? He's stuck. Rocky has a lead on him, so sometimes he gets stuck on our piece of furniture over here by the back door, and then he just keeps opening the door, the little dog door, back and forth, letting in all the mosquitoes. He's very kind. So this is a lot faster. Let's see here. Slightly patient. Which one of you can name 5
See,
cookies?
Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander, Charizard. I think I win and lose.
That's who doesn't have to do the Wheel of Agony. Fine. I'll do the Wheel of Agony as soon as I get this stuff in the oven. And if you weren't here, oven is going to 350. I really need like a outlet on this side, but they're all on that side. They're all on the wrong side. So how many potatoes did I shave? I did 3 russet potatoes. You want about 2.5 to 3 pounds of potatoes for it. And then we're going to be putting it so that you know how big that is. It's going to be in this. You could do it in smaller, but it's going to come up like way to the top and then bubble over into your oven. So this is the better size to use. Like something that's around 2 quarts. You want more than 1.5 quarts. All right, cheese. I need about 2.5 cups of grated cheese. And I can no longer see the measurements on here, so we're just going to take a good guess on this. Grate. Do you mean grated cheese, like the cheese? We're going to grate the cheese. And I will tell you that you want to buy cheese and grate it yourself if you can. Because if you buy the pre-grated cheese in the grocery store, and I'm not talking about like the Parmesan that the grocery store does, because some grocery stores do that, but any of that, you know, like Kraft or whatever, those are perfectly good, but they have anti-caking stuff in them, which is to help prevent it sticking together, and it also helps prevent melting, so it melts much better for dishes that you need melted cheese to find it that way. Oh, you didn't know the word for shaved potatoes? I call them sliced potatoes. So, I'm with you. I'm with you, Amy. I'm not sure there's a name for them. Maybe scalloped potatoes.
Maybe.
So, oh, I didn't even try. I bet I can name 5 Pokemon for sure. Psyduck, Pikachu, Charmander, Eevee, and Bellsprout. So there you go.
Well done.
We used to have those we used to name those all the time. Okay. Cut through some cheese here. I'm trying to get this, I don't think that would be very good, the rind for this particular application. So I'm using a little bit of Gouda and, if you weren't here, Gouda and, yeah, hang on, I'm finishing my thought, and then I'm going to say thank you, and I'm not doing a very good job of finishing my thought here. Gouda and Fontina, because those are two good melting cheeses. And thank you, Brynn for resubscribing. Now I got to spin the wheel twice, unless, Brynn you want Robbie to spin the wheel of agony and maybe have to eat. I'm looking over here. You guys are over here. Spin the wheel and have, maybe have to do some jalapeno or ghost pepper sauce, habanero. So, all right. We're going to spin it after I get these things in the oven now. I can't get that more in the picture because I don't know why do they make the cords so short for things like this. Do you guys ever watch like Worst Cooks and they can't figure out why it's not working and they haven't plugged it in?
Or they don't quite have the lid on right, so it's
right. Well, if you've never used one, the lid is kind of tricky.
It's very tricky.
It's not like, it doesn't make like regular sense. So Robbie has to spin the wheel. Thank you, Brynn.
No.
You're my favorite. Because he's just getting way too much joy out of me doing it.
It's not true. Well, I'll go ahead and get that out of the way then.
Oh, okay.
Since you're still busy not doing your Kelsey spin.
She didn't say
Or would you like to spin it so they don't think there's any funny business and then I'll do whatever it is?
No, you can spin it. Were you planning on having some funny business?
No.
Were you planning on cheating?
I'm an accountant. There's never funny business.
That's true. You're like all serious. You're all spreadsheets and...
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Go ahead.
Oh!
Thank you, Brynn. I really like you.
Is that sauce ready for me?
Well, Kelsey, you haven't said that Robbie has to spin the wheel.
So I need to leave at least half of this for you just in case.
Probably.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to cut it in half? Here.
Please, by all means, cut it in half and.
Oh, you need this part with the more seeds in it. I'll leave the other half with the less seeds in it.
Well, thank you for subbing.
I'm very, very evil. Okay.
I don't have any. I'm ready to go.
I need to have some milk for you.
Feels pretty hot. Oh man.
Here's some half and half.
Oh. Whew.
I need a bunch. I need 5. I need 5 Pokemon. You just
She must
started
have stepped
naming
away
them
for a little bit. She did name 5.
I did. He did it pretty slow. I did mine faster. But it's fine. I'll do it.
I'm getting hiccups.
All right. I don't know. Does that look like enough cheese? He has the hiccups now. That's funny. I'll do a little bit more cheese here. Okay. All right. So let's put this baby together after I get some time.
Whose idea was this?
I think it was yours. So,
No, that can't be right.
yay.
That
Oh.
can't be right.
Kelsey says you spin the wheel.
What? Ah.
She thinks I named him faster. You named him first, but it was who did it the fastest.
All right.
All
That's
right.
fine. That's fine.
Thank you, Kelsey. You are also my favorite. You got the other half.
Oh my God. Hang on. Oh.
I'm not laughing.
Oh.
This isn't funny.
Well, thank you, Kelsey. I appreciate it. Way to go.
Thank you guys for your subs.
Thank you.
I'm appreciating it even more right now. Alright. So I've got these time leaves. I'm taking those off. We are now going to... Oh
no.
Amy subscribed with Prime.
Oh no. I mean, thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. So, me or Robbie, who's going to spin the wheel? I don't know. Can you guys see this? Robbie's usually behind the camera moving it around, but he's too busy in pain right now.
Oh, look. I got picked again.
You did!
I got picked again. I'm crying.
Hopefully it doesn't hit habanero because I think I'm out of habanero. But we'll give him something
We'll
equally
do probably
spicy.
ghost pepper sauce. I think that's the next worst.
Yeah, that. Or, yeah.
If
probably.
it lands on that again, I'm saying it's rigged and you planned this all along.
Water!
Oh.
He gets water! After all the hot sauce, that's probably not a good thing, but he gets dehydrated.
I'll take it.
Okay, so guys.
Thank you again for the sub.
Thank you so much. So this is what we're doing with the potatoes here. I'm gonna make a layer of those. And then we're gonna pour a little bit of this cream in there and put some cheese in there, and then we're gonna just keep doing that. And leaving the last layer of cheese off until like the last 15 minutes of cooking time. Because otherwise it will get too brown. So we're gonna pour a little bit of that in there. I don't pour too much. And it smells so good because the garlic, because I've got that garlic in there. That smells so good. We're gonna put a little bit of this. Oh yay! Bucket 5000 gave out 5. Thank you, Bucket 5000. Awesome.
Bucket 5000. You want Dana to spin 5 times, right?
Who's spinning the wheel? Who's spinning the wheel? I'm gonna put a little salt and pepper. 3 for Robbie, 2 for Dana.
Oh my goodness. Would you like to go? Would you like a turn?
I told you I have to wait till I get these in the oven. Oh, and some cheese. Meanwhile, Robbie just keeps getting in my way over here. This is the most fun I've had in the kitchen in a long time.
Well, I'm glad.
All right, we're gonna put some cheese on that layer. Then we're gonna do another layer of potatoes.
I'm on my way to do this thing.
He's dog wrangling at the moment, and it looks like Otis is going to his safe place, which is on the stairs, because Rocky cannot just get to the stairs.
3 spins.
3 spins.
Thank you.
Another hot thing.
It was
Clearly,
so close to the water.
I would not rig it to fall on the jalapenos because I'm the one usually spinning it. So.
All right. Where was the ghost pepper sauce?
It's in here. What's the dark soy sauce? Where is that? There's that. Rocky, get down. Get down, buddy.
Oh, ghost pepper and blueberry.
I do have these little things too, which are hot.
So
We've got to make stuff up. I forgot to check and make sure I had all of this stuff. Otherwise, I would have written it. Puppy wants the food so bad. Yes, he does. He always wants it.
So I think I'm going to do this before I do any more spins just so I don't psych myself out.
Okay. It's about the same as the habanero.
Oh, 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 oh.
Oh yeah, no dogs get to eat that. Robbie spilled some on the floor.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, puppies, you don't want that. All right, one down. Two to...
Is everybody watching what I'm doing too if you want to learn how to do au gratin potatoes? We're just doing layers of cheese, potatoes, and the sauce
Really?
on there.
She didn't rig it. 1 in 10 chance has come up
It's only come
4
up
out of 5 times.
Yeah, it's only come up once for me. And all the times I've had to spin it.
Well, I'll carefully.
Yeah, don't spill it so that Rocky gets it, would be nice.
Oh.
I think these are...
What? Sorry?
You can't hear me because your mouth is on fire? Okay, what kind of cheese am I using? I am using Gouda and Fontina because those are both good melting cheeses. Normally when I do like a potatoes au gratin, I like to use a Gruyere, but I was telling everybody I could not for the life of me find Gruyere in the last couple of days, other than a smoked Gruyere, which I really wouldn't want for this. And it was like $17 for 6 ounces. So I was like, I'll spend my $40 on the pork chops, but not for just 6 ounces of cheese, you know. All right, Robbie's gonna spin again. There he goes.
Oh, well, there we go. It's something different.
But
not.
It's
But
not. So the thing about the au gratin is just make sure that whatever kind of cheese you're using is a good melting cheese. Like, what do you like? Use that.
I need to stop spilling on the floor.
I'm not going to have you spin for me, that's for sure.
Thank you again. I had fun. I'm gonna go cry for a while.
Okay, you do that. Well, this all.
I just can't taste anything. It's fine.
It's all good.
It's all good. It's just fire.
Fire is
Fire,
good.
fire, fire.
Fire is good. I think I'm gonna put a little more cheese on this layer. But you can see how you really need something that's at least 2 quarts to make this, because somebody, I think Amy, you were asking about that. You want to make sure that for this amount, you want something that's at least 2 quarts. And keep in mind, it'll take a little longer to cook if you put it in a thicker stack. It's going to take longer for those middle potatoes to get cooked. So if you do it, you know, on something that's bigger, you won't have as thick of a potato. And you may want a thick, like big thick hunks of potato, because I've seen them at like steakhouses come out that way. And it's really good. So it's kind of like lasagna. Oh, there's one more. Thank you so much again, Bucket 5000. And welcome to the family, Morphine Bear.
Who's the lucky spinner?
Does that get added to mine? Does that make 3 for me, or does that make still 2 for me and one no more for Robbie, or one more for Dana? So I got 3 spins. All right.
That sounds fair. And I'm not just saying that because it's not going to me.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. All right. So let's see here. Who was it? Morphine Bear asked, is this like lasagna? It is potatoes au gratin. So cheesy, creamy goodness. And so now I'm going to pour the rest of this over the top. And I don't know, this particular recipe only had this much cream in it, and it almost feels like it should have a little more, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But it smells really good because there's that garlic in the sauce. It smells so good. I love garlic. If a recipe says put 3 cloves of garlic in, I usually put 4. If it says 2, I put in
more garlic.
more. Yes. That is now going into the oven, everyone. Oh, I need to put a little more thyme on the top. We'll do that.
Needs some color.
Yeah. You don't have to put thyme on here if you don't like thyme, and I don't know why you wouldn't like thyme, but if you don't have to use it. You can pick your own herb or just have salt and pepper. So I can put a little more salt on here.
A Dana pinch.
No, less than a Dana pinch. More
Less
like
than
a
a-
Robbie.
Oh.
More like a Robbie pinch. And that's gonna go in the oven. I'm gonna start it at 45 and take a look at it, and I left cheese that we're gonna put on in the last 15 minutes that it's cooking. And what we're looking for on that is for the potatoes to be really tender. Like I can stick a fork through them really, really easy. Okay. As promised, I will take my spins. I'm spilling stuff all over the floor. My floor is a mess right now. All right. Everybody see the wheel?
Yes.
Okay. Because I have video feed here, but it's a few minutes, not a few minutes, it's a few seconds behind everything. All right, everybody ready? Water.
Beginner's luck.
Robbie's a super
You
happy
need to
about that.
hydrate though.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have 2 more spins, so it's important to hydrate. What goodness.
I may have to leave the feed in a little bit. All right, that's one. Horseradish.
Yum.
See, you could have gotten that. So this is not horseradish cream. I'm not cheating in using that. But I don't know about doing just plain horseradish and eating. It's all. I think this is as spicy as like a pepper, like a jalapeno pepper. So I'm also not cheating by taking a small spoonful. So here we go.
Delicious.
It's delicious on steak and it What would you guys like to see us put on this wheel? Anything in particular you think we should put on there? Oh, good. I get to do it again.
Maybe one day it'll land on salsa dancing.
I know,
That'd be
that's
fun.
what I want. I want Robbie to have to dance with me in the kitchen. I'm getting another spoon so I don't stick a dirty spoon into the horseradish. Mm. That one was spicier than me. Mm.
Spicier.
So Bucket 5000 says fire dancing, salsa dancing. It's a Latin ballroom dance.
And it mixes well with all the peppers and stuff.
We thought it mixed well with this.
Makes sense.
It's when Robbie's actually better at it than he thinks he is. But I made him take dance lessons with me. So,
Better at it than he
so there's that.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Never mind. That was compliment.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate all of that. Let's see here. So Robbie, we've got the fire going outside. Do you have 2 cameras going?
Yes.
Yes. So Robbie is going to take these out on the grill. These lovely, see them before we put them outside. These are double Berkshire pork chops, and I if you weren't here right when we started, the way I prepared these before they go out on the grill is I rubbed them down with brown sugar, paprika, salt, and pepper. So they got rubbed down, they got put into and it's cracked pepper. You don't want to just use like pepper out of a pepper shaker. You want the big chunks of pepper on there. And I wrapped it up in plastic wrap and stuck it in the refrigerator for a couple of hours. So they've been sitting out now for about a half an hour. So they're kind of ready to go out. So, oh, actual fire dancing with real fire. Oh, you want that to be a thing? That sounds dangerous. Maybe we could do it in the backyard. Does it have to be good fire dancing? Because I was never a baton twirler, so I don't know that I could do that. So. Is there a grill going every day or just on the days when you stream? No, we grill on other days as well. So I love to grill. I grew up, I mean, like I would say half, if not more, of the meals we ate at our house were grilled. What is he doing? Oh, he's stuck again. So we grilled all the time growing up. So. All right, we'll look into fire dancing. But see, I think that would be something that would be enjoyable for all of us. Well, maybe dangerous for some of us.
As long as we did it correctly and didn't hurt ourselves horribly.
What are the chances of you and I doing a fire dance correctly?
I mean, based on my odds with the wheel, not good. Not good. So we're taking those out to the grill?
Yes. Yes.
All right, I will switch it to this. Carrying camera? Or?
Here, you carry this, because this is heavier.
Wait.
It's 4 pounds. You'll have to let us know if we hear computer. Okay. There, are we back?
Sit down.
Doesn't matter. So he's gonna put Sorry, it sounds okay. Can you guys hear me?
Now they can, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna work on that camera. We've been having, this is why Robbie's like this today, and very very frustrated. So I don't see the second camera.
Yeah, I took it off since it's not connected.
Okay. Well, the pork chops are on the direct heat. Rocky is currently trying to get them, so you might want to go out there and
So how long?
sure.
Like
just till it looks like really nice, like and charred. Not like charred, but you know what I mean. Like it's got the good grill marks and all that on it. And then it'll go on the indirect heat until it hits about 140 degrees. And I've got, I don't know if you saw any of what was out there, but I had soaked some hickory chips earlier today, and I put those on the grill, so there's some nice hickory smoke inside of the grill as well. So, so there you go. Okay, so while he's out there grilling the pork chops, and I wish that we could have a feed that was working, but our second camera is just not connecting to the computer very well today. We're gonna make the sauce. So these pork chops get a glaze over the top of them right at the end of their cooking time. So let's make that. I need, and I had it, but I don't know where I put it. Oh, because I used it.
Is it right in front of you?
Nope. I used it different one out because Robbie loves to do the dishes. So we'll make more dishes for him. Okay, this is going to be an interesting glaze. I haven't made it before, but we're going to start with 4 tablespoons of butter. That's 3. I wish you guys didn't see my trash thing here, but you do. And so there's 4. So we're going to stick that in there. Do I handwrite the recipes? So I take a lot of, I'm not sure if you mean do I type them or do I handwrite them or do I make the recipes? I kind of, sometimes I handwrite recipes. I like handwritten recipes. I love pulling out my mom's file and seeing her handwriting and my grandmother's handwriting and my aunt's handwriting and friends of my mom's handwriting. So I do mostly handwrite recipes out, but when I put them online, they're all typed out for you guys. So they are mostly recipes that I've modified from other people who have made them. Alrighty. We're gonna need a bunch of stuff. I turned another light off on an accident. I need measuring cups. I need all sorts of stuff here. All right. Oh, I need to do some diced onions real quick before I get all of that in there. Can you unplug this and get this out of the way? That can get put away. And we'll get the... I just ordered myself a new cutting board too because this one is a pain. So we want about 2 cups of onions. So if you've got a really big onion, and you can use a white onion or a yellow onion for this. And you know, most of the time I'm like, try to get your cuts as even as you possibly can. But we're gonna actually take an immersion blender to this when it's all done cooking. So if they're not exactly even and beautiful, it's okay. Oh, good question, Amy. I put them online. If you look in the Twitch, I've got all the social media accounts on there. They're actually posted on the Facebook page, but if you go to Twitter or Instagram, they'll all link back to that page, so you can pull up the recipes. I know I promised I would catch up. I'm still about a week behind on them, so I think I've got everything up to the pork loin that I did a couple of weeks up there, so I still need to get the meatloaf up, and I think there's one other thing I need to get up there too. But yeah, I post them on there.
There's the link.
And there's the link. And if I don't modify a recipe very much, and I have the recipe from someplace else, I usually just give you the link back to that recipe. But if I've modified it, I will. I'll put the whole recipe on the page. But I like to give credit where credit is due. Like the scalloped potatoes started with more of a Julia Child type potatoes dauphine, and also one of my mom's recipes, and kind of came out the way it did.
What is it supposed to cook to?
140.
So it might be a while.
It's gonna be. That's why we had to put them on so early. Because I want to get this started so that I can make myself a cocktail.
Beverages.
Wow.
Non-spicy beverages.
Exactly. Okay, there it is. I need to rinse this out. Because we don't want milk in this sauce. Look, I'm doing one of your dishes for you. Don't worry, I'm going to make it dirty again so you can do it. there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything for you, sweetie. I do want to say I can't do this without Robbie. He's been really amazing throughout this whole process. So he's. Do you ask restaurant chefs for the recipe or is it that route? It depends. I won't ask them necessarily for the whole recipe, but I might ask them about something. So recently, this is by the way a cup of apple cider vinegar. Recently, I guess it was maybe a month ago or so, Robbie and I were at a restaurant and we had peach cobbler and it had a different flavor to it. Like at the end, like it was acidic and bright. And so I did ask him about that and he said, oh, yeah. And he was happy to share with me that he put Riesling in it. So I added that to my peach cobbler when we made it here. And it was awesome. All right, we need 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. It sounds like such a yummy glaze. I'm really excited to try it. So, and I'm using dark brown sugar because that gives a little bit more robust flavor because it's got more molasses in it. So it has like more flavor than like a light brown sugar. So you could use a light brown sugar, you just won't get that punch that you get from the dark brown sugar. Then we need some ketchup.
Indirect heat now?
It looks all pretty on the outside.
Yes. Indirect heat now?
Yes. If it looks pretty on the outside. Oh, there goes Rocky. I can hear him outside. A 1.5 cups of ketchup. This is going to make a lot of glaze. We'll see how much glaze. You may want to half this recipe. And you don't have to use like the Berkshire double pork chops for this. You could put this on just regular pork chops if you don't want to spend $40 on pork. Or maybe it's cheaper where you are. But that's what it cost me here. Whoops.
If you have your own pig farm.
So Morphine Bear, you have only tasted molasses like once. Yeah, molasses just gives a nice dark flavor. Putting it in your chocolate chip cookies is a great idea. So I'm using the glaze on the pork chops. So we'll put the glaze on those like in the last. So let me know when you're like around 125 or so on the pork chops because we'll put the glaze on.
Okay.
Then, but we'll also serve it with some of it. I went through this bottle of ketchup really, really fast. All right, time to go to. Actually, I still think I have a couple of bottles left because I bought it at Costco. All right, so that's 1.5 cups of ketchup, 1.25 cups of apple juice. Oh, and there's the puppy. If you're new around here, you may not have met the Velociraptor. Whoops! Come here, Velociraptor. This is the Velociraptor, Rocky. He tests the system to see what he can get away with. So, there he is. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? No. Nope. He can't say hi. He's too busy. So now we're going to add apple juice. I mean, honestly, if you were making about 40 pounds of, that's about 1.25 cups, of pork chops, you're going to have plenty of sauce. 1 cup of maple syrup. Are you kidding me? Okay. Clearly, I've never made this before. That is a lot of, oh boy. Puppy. Sorry for the bot.
Yeah, I think the settings are a little sensitive.
What happened? Oh. Yeah, she wasn't spamming symbols. Okay. No, it's okay. Too many exclamation points. And now, my favorite part, we're going to put some bourbon in here. We're going to put 1/2 cup of bourbon. Can you see how much? Okay, seriously, if you're making this, use half Because, I mean, look at how much is in this pot already. That I'm actually going to turn on and let it start heating up. So we have that. And then I'm going to do some prunes in there, which will add some nice sweetness and like just a different element. We want about a half a cup. I think that's about a half a cup. I'm just going to chop them up, rough chop them, so the immersion blender can get to them easier later. I'm going to get all of this mixed up, bring it to a boil, and then bring it back down to a simmer, a low simmer for 30 minutes or so. So hopefully the pork chops don't need it before then. We'll stick those in there. I know we need some Worcestershire sauce. So we'll do that. Worcestershire. Worcestershire. Half, yes. So when I mean, honestly, we have 2 double pork chops out there. I mean, a quarter of a cup of Worcestershire sauce, or however you would like to say it. And some cayenne and some salt and pepper. Oh, there's a mosquito. I got him. Robbie actually likes spicy stuff. I don't know if he really wants stuff spicy tonight after a ghost pepper sauce. But we'll see. All right. Get that in there, some salt and pepper. Oh, good, the Velociraptor. Go outside. Go outside. It's much calmer and quieter in here when he's outside. My neighbors may not like me, but just sometimes. I don't know if any of you have any puppies, but for some reason in October, my neighbors had gotten a puppy like in August, I think. Rocky just turned a year old, and they realized that their life was just too busy because puppies are hard. And so I decided I would take him off their hands, and he is a handful. And my 14-year-old dog is like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Can we take him back? Can we return him?" So, yeah, you will not need this much sauce. So we're gonna let that go for 30 minutes. And you know what I'm gonna do in the meantime? I'm gonna make a cocktail. And first I'm gonna clean this mess up. And I'll put it in Robbie's area over there so Robbie can deal with the mess.
That sounds more like moving and not cleaning. But I guess if you're making 2 beverages, I'll forgive you.
I will make 2 beverages. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the drink called the Dark and Stormy. It was created originally right after World War I on Bermuda. And it was a Gosling's Black Seal rum, and then the ginger beer that the soldiers coming off the boats used to make, and then some lime juice. And I've got all of this wheel stuff over here. And so that's kind of how it came about. Well, later, Gosling's Black Seal rum decided to trademark the drink in the United States. So now, unless you are using Gosling's Black Seal rum, you cannot call it a Dark and Stormy. So I kind of looked around at different people's recipes, and I really like the one from America's Test Kitchen, which actually uses, instead of ginger ale, or ginger beer, oh, you know what? I need you to get something out of the other fridge. If you can get the lime seltzer out of there. Anyway, so this one uses, instead of using ginger beer, which I do have, so we could use ginger beer, instead I made this ginger simple syrup today, and it is, the ratio on this is 1 to 1 to 1. 1 cup of sugar to 1 cup of water to 1 cup of peeled and sliced fresh ginger. You could make, I didn't make a full cup because this bottle doesn't hold a full cup, so it's about 3/4 of a cup, so I used 3/4, 3/4, 3/4 on that. And you just make sure with the sugar and the water that gets dissolved first, and then you add the ginger. Thank you, refrigerator, I needed ice. And then you add the ginger in, bring it to a boil, then bring it back down to a simmer for about 15 minutes, and then let it sit for an hour to an hour and a half so that all those good ginger flavors seep into it. And you know what? This will be great in a lot of different cocktails. This is instead of just using simple syrup. So that's what I'm doing. Moving is a type of cleaning. I agree, Amy. Thank you. Thank you for being on my side. Okay, well, I will use the mineral water. I actually bought the sparkling lime out there for this, but this will work. It'll work just fine. So that's how we're going to do that. So we're going to be using mineral water, which also, it's sparkling. It's cool. It all works. And this is still a mess over here. Ah! Amy's my friend.
The moving is a type of cleaning?
Yes.
It's true.
It is true. You know, I'm a recovering perfectionist, by the way. I know it doesn't appear that there was ever like perfectionist in my vocabulary, but I used to hide. I wasn't a perfectionist in that everything needed to be perfect. I was a perfectionist in that I wanted everything to appear perfect. So I figured out that like nobody ever looks in the dryer. So whenever people were coming over, I'd pick up all the things I didn't want them to see and I'd throw them in the dryer. Luckily, and I know the next question is probably, did you ever start the dryer with all that stuff in? And the answer is no, but that was my trick. So it's the best. I know, isn't it an awesome idea? Until now I have a dryer that's got a glass front on it, but still I don't think anybody's gonna go looking in my dryer. But I've broken myself of that habit, so people come over, I'm like, yeah, rocky, rocky, rocky. That butter's not melting. See, this is the one where we probably should have melted the butter first. But hopefully it will melt soon. All right, I'm using Collins glasses because part of the dark and stormy is the way it looks. So you want to be able to see what's in there. And we are going to start with some ice, which my refrigerator's already started giving me. So that's good. I put some ice in there. Oops. Just a little bit of water in there. It's all good. And you want to use a dark rum. If you can find a black rum, use that, but not a spiced rum. So don't get a spiced rum that happens to be dark. You want a plain rum that is dark. And we're going to start by putting 1.5 ounces of this ginger syrup in the glass, in the bottom. And can you guys, oh, you have, that camera's still not working over there?
That's fine.
It is? Oh, there it is, okay. There we go, in the corner. There we go. And let's see, and then you can see it that way too. Sorry, I'm moving them all around. Now, we want to put, oh, we need lime juice. I haven't squeezed the limes yet. They do have lemon juice in it, but not lime juice. So here I am making drinks, and I'm not even prepared. I did not do my mise en place for the drinks. What are we gonna do with me?
It's all that horseradish that you ate.
I did
Throwing
not
you
have
off.
the worst part of that. You sure did on that. It was spicy, but
Pretty sure you rigged the wheel today.
how? How would I rig the wheel?
I don't know. You just have magic.
Does anybody else think I rigged the wheel? I didn't even know he was gonna spin. Why would I rig the wheel? It's not like I have a little setting under the counter that I flip to. Robin's turn to spin the wheel.
I always wondered what that button did. Now I know. It activates the magnet.
Ooh. Well, thank you for the idea. Okay, we need a half an ounce of lime juice in each of these. And then we're going to add some seltzer, because we want that rum on the top. All right. And then last but not least, we need a couple of ounces of rum on the top.
Oh my.
And if you really want it to layer well, oops, I put a little too much seltzer. If you really want to layer it and have it, like this is actually doing pretty good right here, but you could take the back of the spoon. This is what you'll see bartenders do. You'll see them take a spoon when they need to layer stuff, and then they pour this over the spoon. And it helps keep it even more on the top of the drink. I'm guessing because it slows down the force of the drink. So you can see there's a little bit of a difference. This one didn't go down quite as far as the other one. And this one actually has more rum in it. And then you'll want another lime. Luckily I have 8,000 limes in there. And there you go. Now, you probably don't want to drink it while it looks like this, because you're just going to get a mouthful of dark rum. Or maybe that's your thing. Maybe you like it.
Maybe you have to do a lot of spins, and that sounds like a good idea.
I found, can I tell you, I don't know about you, but I feel bad using plastic straws, but at the same time, I really don't like paper straws because they just don't last very long. These are agave straws. So when they make tequila or agave syrup, they use what's left over from the plant and they make these straws so they feel like plastic. Have you seen these? They feel like plastic, but they're 100% biodegradable. They're awesome. Agave straws. So there we go. You'll want to stir it up. You'll want to bring that ginger syrup up. So it's kind of like a Moscow Mule, but you're using rum instead of vodka in it.
Yeah, it's pretty strong if you know stir.
Robbie decided he didn't believe me and was
No, I
going to take a
believe
sip.
you. I just thought I'd try it.
Okay. Let's get that down. That's good. I think that'll be good, like with this barbecue, because it's got like enough, like that dark rum, kind of gives it some. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what that word is.
Me neither.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little better when it's stirred.
A little less with that rum right on the top. Getting some of that syrup.
Where's the rum gone?
Where's the rum gone? Is that from a movie? I don't know.
Yeah, it's Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. He does say that a lot. So that's our drink. So now it's time to make our summer salad. Now that I have my drink, I'm happy. Robbie seems to be in a much better mood. Are you in a better
We're
mood?
on the way.
You're on the way.
When did you want to do the glaze
Let me know
again?
when you need, huh?
What temperature did you want to do the
About
glaze?
125, except that this is supposed to cook for a while.
Okay, well one of them's still pretty far behind, and I can move the other one if I need to.
Okay, they're on indirect heat, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But one of them's 10 degrees cooler than the other one for some reason. We're almost to 120 on the first one.
So it might need to go up on that top rack off of the...
Is it not hotter if it goes high up?
Maybe. So maybe
I
further.
could also
Isn't
lower
it the temperature in there? Yeah. And then maybe put the other one closer to the direct heat.
Okay, as we get closer, I might just go open the grill, turn it down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We'll do what we gotta do.
We will do what we gotta do. That is right. You get to hear our discussions. This is how we cook when you guys aren't even around. We have these discussions. What was that? Was that water?
That was ice, right?
Oh, that was ice. Thank you. He's also my reminder. Like, he reminds me of things. He'll be like, weren't you gonna go do this? And did you forget this? So, like I said, I could not do this without him.
Just remember, if you're missing something, it's probably
right in front of me. Yeah. Yeah. If you're new here, he also has a counter on how many times I mess things up.
But you haven't done that yet.
Right? Yet. I haven't done it yet. And it's okay. I don't mind messing up because my food still tastes good when it comes out. And I don't want to be... My mom was a fabulous cook. She really was. And she would get so mad at herself that she couldn't enjoy the evening. And I vowed that I was not going to be that. I was not going to be the person who was like, oh, everything is wrong. Because you know what? All the things she thought were wrong with the food, nobody knew that it was wrong with the food. And frankly, we were there to hang out and tell stories and laugh and have fun. So food should only add to enjoyment. It should not, make us upset at stuff. So, all right, now I've got all the drink stuff over here. You guys see all the drink stuff over in the corner. That is not a drink thing. So we're gonna make a super simple salad. So I agree, as long as it tastes good, everything is good, and it doesn't even have to be like perfect. Like, I've messed stuff up before, and I mess up so you don't have to. And I try things so that I can tell you, please do not make this full recipe when you make it and you make this sauce, because you will have enough sauce for years. I don't even know what I'm going to do with all this sauce. We are going to make our simple salad. I have a garden outside. So tomatoes from my garden. I'm going to have, right now there's probably about 30 Roma tomatoes that are orange. So they're all going to be ripe at the same time. So stay tuned, because there may be an episode where we're doing everything with tomatoes. Maybe making tomato sauce to freeze or something like that. So this is just an avocado, tomato, red onion, cucumber salad.
So we did just hit 125. How much time do I need to buy you?
Probably 10 minutes. So it may need to come off the heat completely. Do you want the plate? I just don't want it to overcook, and I know it's going to sit on there and still cook some. But we do what we can. So there's a lesson where you might want to start the sauce before you put the pork on the grill. All right. English cucumber. They're the easiest for this kind of salad. You know, if you're doing like cucumbers and sour cream, or you're making a raita or anything like that, you can use the cucumbers with the seeds in it. But the English cucumbers are so much better. And you know, I put that away because I thought I was done with it. But I was not done with it. So here we go. Cucumber. Do you guys like cucumbers? One of my favorite things my mom used to make was this cucumber and onion and sour cream side dish, which I haven't made here yet, but I will one day. I know Kelsey loves it. I think she's probably not in here, but homemade salsa is yummy. That's a great idea. Olives get you upset. Olives get you upset. Why do olives get you upset? Like upset stomach, or you never know what to do with cucumbers. Just, there's so many things you can do with cucumbers. Oh, Robbie's already halfway done with this drink over there. For this one, I'm just chopping it up into some nice cubes. I'll stick those in there.
My mouth's not on fire anymore.
That's good. Robbie's mouth is not on fire. Did you guys all hear that? That's a good thing. Cucumbers with onions is great. My kids I used to put, when they were like hungry and it was close to dinner, I used to always just peel and slice up cucumber slices and put them on a plate, and that's what they would eat as their snack. And I was happy because it's like yummy, but it's also not going to fill you up. So I've got 2 Roma tomatoes here that I'm going to put in here. And I take out this part right here. It doesn't really have any flavor in it. So when I'm doing salads and stuff like that, I just take that out. So this is a good, like, so if you don't know what to do with cucumbers, Amy, this is a really simple, good thing to do, because a lot of people grow them in their gardens. Second tomato. Also, I like really big knives. And I see Joyce in there who uses little knives to cut things. And I don't know how you do that. I would cut myself into all the, like I'd have cuts all over my hand if I was using a little knife. Our glaze is going. It's simmering over here. Did you take that one off the grill?
The other one had cut up, so I took them both off.
Took them both
They're
off,
both
okay.
at 125.
Okay. I'm only going to use, I don't want the onion to overpower this, so I will probably not quite use a half of the onion for this. I kind of eyeball it because red onions can be super big. Whenever it says use half an onion, I'm like, that's not super helpful because they come in so many different sizes. And for salad like this, it's really easy when it's not cooked. It's really easy to have the onion overpower the other flavors. And this, I'm going to slice into some thin things, and then I'll probably half them like this. I really think that's probably enough onion in there. Some of you may disagree because I know some of you love onions. Some of you don't like onions. We're also going to put some cilantro in there. And before I hear from some of you, because I know some of you have told me before you don't like cilantro, if you don't like cilantro, you don't have to put cilantro in here. You could use dill if you like dill. That would be a good substitute. But you want something herbaceous in here. Hey, we're going to have to eat some leftovers this weekend. And I'm going to do about a quarter of a cup. I will put measurements on, I will put like how much of stuff online. I just don't typically cook that way when it's a dish like this. I kind of eyeball stuff and taste it to see how it is. Thank you, Bald Squirrel. That sounds like maybe a joke that Robbie would tell us.
I approve.
He approves of it. And actually that looks like an awful lot of cilantro. So I am going to toss that first. I still haven't put the avocado in there. So we need to chop up the avocado. One of my favorite foods. Oh, I need to check the potatoes. Let's go do that. How do they look?
Like potatoes.
They look like potatoes. That is good news.
Hot potatoes.
Do you want to? Okay. I'm testing the potatoes. I know you can't see me over here. They still have a ways to go, so we're going to turn that on for another 15 minutes. Because they still have some time. I could not get a fork through them, so not ready. Do you guys know how to cut avocados? There was a time where not too many people did. Let's see. You love cucumbers with onions, and my thumb is the cut. Oh yeah, your thumb is the cutting board. Yeah. All right, right. That twist. Don't try to pull it off. I've seen a lot of people cut themselves trying to do that. This spoon is too little for this avocado. Because these are big avocados. If you're using small ones, you'll probably want 2. If you love avocados and devour them, you might want 2 jumbo ones. We're just gonna chop that one up too. Well, Joyce, I hope I don't have to take you to the emergency room because you're using your thumb as a cutting board. Or Robbie having to take you. How many sizes of avocados are there? Usually you see small ones, large and jumbo. But they come in a lot of, it just depends. So. You're making avocado toast right now. That's one of my favorites. I wish I could eat toast more often. I've got avocado all over my hands. So that's the salad part of this. And then the dressing is really, really simple. I've got some lemon juice here. And all we're going to do is I'm going to take one of my little handy dandy jars. I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of olive oil in there. A couple tablespoons of lemon juice. This is really so refreshing when you've got like a heavy meat, like what we're doing outside. We don't want to have anything too heavy. This will help cut some of the sweet and richness of the potatoes and the pork chops. So I'm putting a little salt. A little pepper in there. That's it. Shake that up and then toss my salad. With that, it will help keep the avocados from turning colors. So simple, colorful. Oh, do you have that there? Okay. So that's it. That's all that is. Like I said, super, 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 super simple. I love avocados. So do you need a new small paring knife? Joyce, is that what I'm hearing from you? Okay. So that's done. Now we gotta wait for everything else to cook. I mean, I could make some green beans. I think there's enough food already. So did some of you miss it? Joyce, did you miss Robbie having to take multiple spins of the wheel and having to do habaneros and ghost pepper sauce?
Speaking of which, while you're waiting, there was actually one sub that for some reason it missed. No, you didn't miss it. It didn't show up.
Oh, it didn't show up?
My brother subbed.
Oh, he did?
And I verified it's in there. It just didn't. I guess there was too much fun going on that it was like.
So does he want you to spin the wheel, or does he want me to spin?
He thinks I need to catch up.
Oh, did you need to catch up from the spins from before that I've taken?
Right, yeah.
So you have to spin it?
So, one more spin, guys. Unless anyone adds on.
Is he on, like, I don't know what his name is.
I think he's around.
He's around?
I'm not sure.
Are you there? Are you there, Robbie's brother?
Did you push the button to set your magnet up? Apparently.
Oh!
Excellent.
He gets water. He gets water. He needs to hydrate.
I do. I've already finished the other beverage, so I'll take
All right, so I've had fire dancing as a thing to add on to the wheel. We might need to practice that a little bit before it makes it there. But anything else that should be added to that wheel? Like different kind of pepper, or something that we really wouldn't want to eat, or maybe something we do want to eat. Maybe you're nice and you're like, but I'd like to see you have some ice cream. Because then Robbie, if there's ice cream on this wheel, Robbie would volunteer. He would probably volunteer.
If you're gonna make me, I'll have ice cream.
Ah, good times, good times. So, what's everybody up to? While this is going here.
Yeah, how long's that got still?
I don't know, but the potatoes still have time too.
I know, but I didn't know if I should put them back on the heat and get that going back up to temp.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all good. Are you stuck again?
No, I think he's just.
Nope, he is stuck. That's a stuck bark. Rocky's been quite the velociraptor, so we put his lead back on him. Just makes it easier for us to get him. And then we don't get snapped at, right? Kisses? Thank you. Thank you. Like that. That's the velociraptor. Kisses? Kisses? So he's quite the dog. He's quite the dog.
It's just eating my fingers on camera. It's fine.
I'm just trying to let this sauce reduce down a little bit. I'm gonna taste it, see what it tastes like. Because since it's a glaze, we kind of want it to be a little thick. It's actually really good.
Well, that's good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But not quite ready?
I'm gonna taste it. Not quite ready. I want give me a couple of minutes. Let it see if I can get it to reduce down a little bit more before I stick the immersion blender in there. Which I pulled out. Where did I put it?
That is so much better than the ghost pepper sauce.
It is.
Delicious.
It is better. There's stuff here that could be. Do you watch other cooking shows? Do their kitchens always look like a disaster like mine when we're done? They do?
I'm going to say yes.
You're gonna say, well, I know you watch them during the day. I'm usually in yoga teacher training or seeing clients during the day, so I don't get to watch a lot of them. And some of them just seem like their kitchens are so neat all the time, and I'm like, mine never looks like that. Mine looks like a tornado went through it. But it doesn't matter because I have a full-time dishwasher, so Uh-huh. Is that still, no, that's not on camera. Okay. I'll move that over there. And I'll try to clean this up a little bit. Because I want to present the pork chops prettily.
Prettily?
Prettily. It's a word. Look it up.
More of Dana's made up words.
Hey, made up words are the best. What's your best made up word? I want to hear your best made up word right now because I make them up all the time.
All of mine are accidental, or I have to tell you some of them.
So you don't know?
I
I really like that drink. That's good.
can't think of any.
You guys have good made up words? None? You only use real words? Because I for sure don't. A1 teriyaki sauce. That's your made up word? Sounds like a made up, like an interesting ingredient. A1 teriyaki sauce.
Like a secret ingredient.
A secret ingredient, Iron Chef. A la cuisine!
Is that what he says?
Yeah. What do you think he says?
I don't know.
A la cuisine!
Something that matches the crazy movements?
Yeah. See, that should totally be on camera.
No, that's
Because
okay.
he's over there. It is now. Perfect. What else? Thank you, Morphine Bear, for answering my question. Anybody else? Joyce, what's a good made-up word? Amy, you got one? Bald squirrel, you gave me some puns there, so I gotta imagine you got a good made-up word. I mean, that's how we get new words, right? Somebody makes it up and then the rest of us use it enough. You're blanking.
Twitch has tons of made up words.
I know. In fact, I don't even know all the Twitch made up words. Like sometimes I'll be like, Robbie, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. From you guys. Pliner. Okay, so what does pliner mean? I do like Donald Pliner's shoes. Does this have anything to do with shoes? Rocky, buddy, dude. All right, I think this is good enough so we can get started on that. Can you plug that in over there? Will it reach? You know, you cannot make me happy with cords on devices because I'm like, it's too long or it's too short. It's never the right length for me. Someone who plines. Nibbling is going to be a word. Is it not a word? Or nibbling? Polyliner. Okay.
I like it.
I like it. This would probably be better in the regular blender. Because it's very liquidy. Be very careful when you are blending things that are really hot. It is likely I will burn myself before I am done here.
Well, don't do that.
I mean, I do it all the time. You make up a word when you burn yourself with a blender. A blender. I've got a blurn.
Blender? Blender? I don't know.
Alright, I think that's good enough. It gives you some glaze to go out there and put on the pork chops.
So I'll put it
We'll
back.
serve it with some extra on there.
I'll go get it back on the...
Can you unplug this, please? So I don't have to walk around because that is about how lazy I'm feeling right now. Alright, you need sauce. Now I am starting to really smell the potatoes. This is my handy dandy grill thing. So I would actually recommend, with as much as this made, I would put this in the regular blender, but if you've never blended anything hot in a regular blender, always make sure you put a towel on the top and you hold the top on. Especially put that towel on the top because you will burn yourself for sure. Trust me, I've done it for you, so you don't have to. Burning oneself is a rite of passage. I'm just trying to pass on my hard life lessons due to experience to you guys. So, but hey, I didn't burn it. But this is not as smooth as I would want it to be. But so take this, put it in a blender, blend it in a blender so it gets really smooth. And if you really want it to be really smooth, you can put it through a sieve and put it back on the stove. And then you get all the chunky stuff out. So you know what? I'm not a chef either. I'm just a home cook. I like to cook. I like to try new things. I've read 8 bazillion books and watched a bazillion shows. So it's not like I'm an expert in here. I just learned stuff from experience, and I had great teachers in my mom and my grandma. So that is how I got here today. That and my kiddos. Yep. That and my kiddos just going, you should have a stream teaching people how to cook or just cooking in the kitchen. So it was one of those things where it's like, let's keep it simple. And then now I've got a gigantic monitor attached to my counter and multiple cameras. But luckily Robbie does all of that. So, all right, I'm gonna go check the potatoes again and get the rest of the cheese on there so that when the pork chops come off, we are ready to eat dinner and show you what it looks like. And I'm so excited, I can't even stand it. I'm so excited. Okay. Sorry that we don't have a camera over here. Normally we would have one, but like I said, Robbie was fighting with all the technology today. All right. So I'm going to put cheese on this. Hang on, I'll pull it out. So you guys can see this. Get that out of the way. So we're going to just put that rest of that cheese that I set aside. And again, if you're wondering what kind of cheese I used Gouda and Fontina because they just both melt really well. And that's what I had. But Gruyere would be fabulous in this. But use what you like, but just make sure it doesn't, that it's a good melting cheese, that it's not one of the cheeses that doesn't melt really well. Like I could see you doing like this kind of thing, but having like a Mexican twist to it. And you could use some of the Mexican melting cheeses. That would be good. So you've never bought cheese in the store? How can that even be a thing? Now I gotta put this back in. So we have a store here called Central Market. I buy a lot of cheese there because they have a really good selection of cheese. But Costco actually has a good selection of cheese too. So if you need big, but I only buy it there when I need a lot because you get a lot of it. So I know that if I'm buying it for macaroni and cheese, it's going to be because I'm making a lot of macaroni and cheese. But the regular grocery store I buy it at sometimes. But like I said, I could not find Gruyere. So I had Gouda left over from when I made macaroni and cheese on the July 4th. And then I bought some Fontina because I love Fontina and I love the way it melts. It's a fabulous melting cheese. That dog. Why cheese on after the cooking? So it's went back in the oven. It's going to go back in the oven for about another 10 or 15 minutes to finish cooking. But if you put that cheese on the top at the very beginning of the cooking, it will get too brown. and then it won't, and it might burn. So whenever you're topping something with cheese, you usually want to put that on closer, like the last 10 or 15 minutes of cooking, rather than have it on the entire time on there. So, so that was a good question. Macaroni with Gouda. It was excellent. Did you like the macaroni and cheese? Yeah. Robbie had a lot.
It was really good.
It was really good. And I made it with gluten-free pasta. So.
And you couldn't even tell.
And you couldn't tell. It was really good. Because I try to do gluten-free when I can. Because it messes with my inflammation of my arthritis. So it's so fun when you figure out what's wrong with your body, and then you're like, oh, I can't do that anymore. Or
at least limited.
I have to limit that. I know I'm going to pay for it in the morning, and sometimes it's worth it. So yeah, it was. So it was Gouda, and then I also used Parmesan in there to give it that kind of nutty flavor. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting. So what's up with you, Robbie?
What's up with me?
Yeah.
I mean, technically I'm grilling right now. It's very hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Robbie feels like I tricked him, because when we started this, he says I'll just be behind the scenes, and it hasn't really worked out that way.
Not so far. There's maybe some spins today, and
yeah. Well,
spiciness going on.
I think the other hard part was that you are my sous chef in the kitchen most of the time. So without you here, let's do it. Oh, yay! Thanks for cheering. Drink more arsenic. What's your real name?
My real name is Robbie.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
That means the puppies.
Oh, the puppies get a treat. Right, wait, but... Oh, you have to do that cam. All right, so Robbie, so he just did 250 bits so that he could...
Just pick up Robbie.
Okay, hang on, here. Let's see, so we can see. Tell him to sit.
Sit. Wait.
You didn't wait.
I
You didn't make
don't.
him wait. Wait, let's see what waiting actually looks like. Oh, are you giving one to... There's Otis. There's the old man.
Otis.
Otis, you want a treat?
Treat. Sit. That's not really sitting. Wait.
He doesn't know that command. Oh!
No.
All right.
Well, that was fun.
All right, here, give me a treat, because I want to show you. This is what weight looks like. Hi, Fred. Oh, okay. Here, you hold this. Sorry, hopefully we're not making any of you sick. Come here. Okay. Wait. Okay. That's what weight looks like.
Oh.
When he sticks his head up like this, he goes, I'm not looking at the treat. I'm not looking at the treat.
I'm better at grilling than I am at puppy treats.
Being paid in food is good, yes. So Rocky is a multi-poo, although I think that there's Velociraptor in there as well. And then Otis is a full-fledged, full-bred Bichon Frise. And Bichon Frises are the best dogs because A, they like to just hang out and chill with you, other than when they get their moments of the Bichon buzz where they run around like crazy. And second of all, they don't shed at all. So it's super nice. You don't end up with dog hair everywhere. So, how much does it cost for the charcoal or wood each time you grill something? Very good question. I have zero idea. Not much. I bought So we only got the charcoal grill recently, and I bought the charcoal with the grill, so I don't even know how much it cost.
We've only used it twice so far.
Yeah, so we've only used it twice so far. When I do the wood, I just use wood chips, so I think I paid like $10 for the bag, and I use a couple of handfuls, so it's not even $1 worth of hickory that's in there, so.
That's not too bad.
Nah. And if you're going to do that, make sure that you soak it first so it doesn't just burn. So you soak it, then and let it soak for like an hour to an hour and a half, and then I pour the water out and I will stick it in there so that it gets charcoaly, and then it releases kind of the smoke of the flavor of the wood. So good question. Non-shedding is the way to go. I mean, when we got our first dog, that's what I was looking for: hypoallergenic, non-shedding dog, because I'm allergic to dogs and cats. So I'm kind of a mess, but it's okay. Life is still good.
Do I need to flip them at one point to get the?
Yep.
Okay.
Because what we
like
want.
140.
So we want. Yeah. So what is it at right now? So I would go ahead and flip them now.
Flip them now.
Yeah.
So trying to get that to like caramelize a little bit before I flipped it.
Okay. Is it not caramelized yet?
It was a little liquidy.
I know. I wanted to. That really needed to be on
But
a little bit longer.
It's taking its time.
Yeah.
Being able to get the heat back in there.
We just don't want to have you here waiting for like an hour for everything to go as planned. So
Speaking of which, how much longer did the cheese need?
I didn't set a timer, did I?
Boy, we give you guys treats. You get treats.
Hey. Hey. Quiet.
Well, it looks good.
Otis is going back to his safe place. Anytime. This needs to sit for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna leave it back in here for a few more minutes. I want that cheese to get a little bit brown. What? Huh?
That's going to do a close-up of it if it was done, but that's fine.
No, I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes because the meat has to come in and rest at 140
Okay.
to bring it up to 145. I don't like overcooked pork.
I will go flip some steaks then.
And I think that the majority of home-cooked people overcook their pork. But I grew up with my mom being like, don't overcook the meat. So medium rare steaks and medium rare pork. So I like to have a little pink in it. So we cook ours to about 140, let it come to temp to about 145, which is not what the government says it should be at. It wants it to be at 160, but at 150, 160, somewhere in there, it's overcooked at that point, in my opinion. So I want him to take those off the grill completely when they're hit 140, and as they rest, they'll come up to 145. So that's my pork tip. And meat, medium rare on meat. Burgers, medium. But the rest of the meat, yeah. And I know Robbie's dad likes meat done a little bit more, but that's the way I grew up. And my mom was always yelling at my dad, Dave, you're gonna overcook the meat. Get it off the grill. That's a voice I hear in my head if I have stuff on the grill. So cooking with meat scares you, Amy. Why does it scare you? You got to try it. And what we have, you saw, Robbie's got this, if you look right here, right? Robbie has this. And if you use a thermometer, it's easy to get it right. So, and this one has two, like he's got, do you see the two numbers on there? He's actually got a sensor in each of the pork chops. So, but you can see that it's pork, and it says it wants it to be at 160, but that's not what we want. We want 140. So some people want it done more. I get it. We're scared of pink pork because they told us to be scared of pink pork. But, yeah. So he's out there, 133, 127. That's perfect. It's good timing. I want him to bring it in, and I want to showcase that on my gigantic board here, because I think those pork chops deserve something more than a plate. What do you think? I think it deserves this. Oops, I think I moved your... Wait, you want to be able to see it?
You're fine.
I know I'm fine. That's what's awesome. So, I say this almost every episode, but does anybody else think drink more arsenic is a bad name for somebody on a cooking show?
The name predates the show by quite a bit.
Yes, but still, it's kind of a, like, I'm going to tell you right now, please do not drink more arsenic.
It's not
Don't.
actually recommended.
It's not recommended at all. So, that implies morphine bear. At least you're not telling people to drink more arsenic. So he told me last night that he got it because he was like, drink more milk. Remember the campaign, drink more milk?
Or got milk.
Or got milk or whatever, and that's where the name kind of came from. So, so morphine bear, yes, yours is better because you're not telling people to drink more morphine. So.
I think it's a great name.
Did you know I was behind the scenes in a production of Arsenic and Old Lace?
No.
I did makeup.
Is there drinking of arsenic involved in that?
Gosh, I don't remember the story behind it. I remember that the original movie had Boris Karloff in it. And so the person who was playing that character, one of the kind of, do you know who he is?
No.
Okay.
I'm a millennial.
Well, it's from black and white. He's from before my time.
Wait, how old?
Robbie is of the oldest millennials that are turning 40 this year. So we have to do something special on the broadcast when it gets towards his birthday, which is at the end of August. And he's not telling me what he wants to do for his birthday. And I told him that means that I'm going to decide. But I am open to suggestions. What should we do for Robbie's 40th birthday? What's a good thing to do? Now, I know, like Cody, for those of you who know Cody, I know for his bachelor's party he went bungee jumping, which I think is insane. But
yeah, that's probably not happening.
But that's just right up Cody's.
Now we get on the Amazing Race.
Oh, the Baloney Kid says spa day. That might mean people will touch your feet.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And they get paid to do that, huh?
Skydiving.
Skydiving?
Yeah. I will stay in the plane and watch you jump out.
In my mind, somehow skydiving is safer because you have a parachute. And I don't know why that seems safer than bungee jumping.
At least you're not upside down in skydiving. That's what I'm like, let me be on a big gigantic rubber band upside down and let me bounce up and bounce down and bounce up.
But maybe that logic is flawed because if they don't let you skydive by yourself the first time, that might imply that it's more dangerous.
Maybe.
Because they let you bungee jump without a tandem person.
Yeah, I wouldn't
So
want
my
to
logic might be backwards.
Can you imagine bungee jumping in tandem? Like, I would
They
think
could
you would
have
like
those.
knock your head. No, I don't think they do. Go-kart racing.
Ooh, there we go.
Cabin.
I'll be
What
sure
does
for
that mean,
go-kart
cabin? Like, stay in a cabin?
Years of Mario
Find
Kart
a-
will pay off.
Here's a Mario Kart, yeah. Cabin, or, you know, I don't know, like, hot tub,
But not on stream.
not on stream.
We're just gonna leave that alone. Leave that there.
The Bologna Kid has some good ideas.
Yes, way more than me.
Yes,
I've
and
got
Amy
none.
had some good ideas. I'm telling you, if he doesn't tell me soon, I am going to make the decision for him on what we are doing.
Are your potatoes done? Maybe.
I think so.
Boy, we still got like a while to go on this.
So why are you worried about my potatoes?
I don't know, because they look really good.
What do you think? Those look good? I can't tell if I'm in the frame or not because it hasn't caught up. There we go. Okay. That's how far behind my feed is. And I'm in the room with the camera that's attached to the computer that's showing the feed. So, the breadcrumbs. So this is, our gratin doesn't usually have breadcrumbs. Or at least it never did when I was growing up. And so I don't think that au gratin usually does that. But that would be a good addition. I mean, if it tastes good, do it. I am all about just making up your own stuff. I drove my mom absolutely nuts because I would take a recipe and I would change it, but I wouldn't write down how I changed it, whereas my mom always wrote down how she changed a recipe so that she could do it again if it was good. And she'd go, that was awesome. What did you do? And I go, well, it was this recipe and I added some stuff. So I'm trying to be a little more thoughtful when I do it here so that you guys know what I'm doing. When I put it online, I can go, I did this and then I did something else and I don't remember what it was. But it could happen. Could totally happen. All right, so Bologna Kid and Amy gave me some ideas. What about the rest of you? Joyce, what should I do? He's not in here right now. You have any ideas? What should we do for his birthday? Is Bob in here? You got ideas? Rachel? I mean, we could go see Fallen Age over on an island in the middle of the ocean. Money shower. Okay, sounds expensive. But I like it. Money shower. All right. Yeah. My dog keeps going in and out the dog door. Do you hear the squeaking? Helicopter dinner. That might be kind of fun. Run out of theater. You know what so here's the funny thing about that one, Morphine Bear, is that Robbie actually used to work in a movie theater for many, many years. So I don't know, would you like a movie theater rented out? Cake and ice cream. He will have cake and ice cream with you, Joyce. For sure.
I should have known that you suggested that.
Maybe we'll make some homemade ice cream. Cakes are not my, I can make a good cake, but that's not my, oh, well, maybe I'll have Pam make a cake. You know what, that'd be fun. I have a friend named Pam, and she's a phenomenal baker, and maybe we'll have her on one day, and she can help. And we just had dinner with friends of ours, and she is a phenomenal cook, and I was thinking of having her on and talk about her stories. So you're not just listening to me talk about my stories all the time. But yeah, tomahawk steak dinner. That's what I should have for my
This seems pretty close tonight.
This is pork.
I know.
So a tomahawk steak.
But it's fancy.
Right, because then you get like the fillet and the rib. I mean, you have all the different like cuts of meat.
And then you have a weapon afterwards.
And
right?
then you have a weapon afterwards. It's the perfect meat. Meat and a weapon. Yep. He has to have ice cream though. That's his thing.
I do like ice cream.
What else? What are your other favorite foods? Ice cream,
Pizza, lasagna,
lasagna.
macaroni and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
What else am I favorite?
We made lasagna. You need to, okay. That would be funny. You should totally do that, Joyce. I love it. Cherry limeade sherbet. Ooh, that sounds good.
Sounds very good for a hot summer day.
Yeah. You could even make a popsicle out of that. That'd be good.
Ooh.
Or take the sherbet and then put some vodka in it and make a slushy.
We can definitely do that.
Some awesome ideas. We're just waiting for the meat. Where is it at? You guys are looking 138, 135.
Getting there. It's finally moving. It took it a while to.
It's not really in the shot though.
Well, I was showing off the thing above it. There we go.
Okay.
Is that better?
That's better. Because this is where we're going to put those babies.
What?
Right here. You don't have to bring them in on this.
So you sure you don't want the other one that's got the like channels for all the?
Nope.
Okay. This one looks nicer.
I know. I got to take a picture of it.
Beauty over function. Is that what we're going with?
Yep. Do you guys know Cody? Because he told me he doesn't like to use science when he cooks.
There wasn't much science tonight. There was no sous vide involved with the pork.
Heat is science.
I think it was really just no sous vides are allowed.
But he said he didn't want science.
That's overly
That's
scienced. There, that's
But
a
it's
word I
not.
just made up.
Overly scienced. Yeah. No,
And sous
All-
vide sounds pretty made up too.
all cooking is science. That is why sometimes when you look at a recipe and you go, why are they making me do it this way? There is a reason. It's because different things cook differently. So, making an ice cream with liquid nitrogen. The pork chops, are they on direct heat right now?
No.
No, so they are not on direct heat. That would be awesome. Where do I get liquid nitrogen? Is there a store? I know they do it on the Food Network. Actually, there's an ice cream place around here that does that.
Can we just ask Alton? You guys are buddies, right?
At the liquid nitrogen store, of course.
Genius!
Why didn't I think of that? I didn't think of that.
Because your name's not Morphine Bear.
I know. Morphine Bear knows all the good stores. That's funny. Okay, I'm gonna start doing a little thing over here. I'm gonna leave this in here. I'm gonna give us some sauce on the side, and a little salad on the side, and some potatoes. But I'm gonna throw those potatoes right on here.
Right on there?
Right on there. So poor Robbie during the pandemic, he's had to put up with me saying, don't eat anything. And then I'd get a bunch of stuff out and dirty a bunch of dishes so I can get a good picture before he can eat.
All about the gram.
Now, but I wasn't really posting them on Instagram before. I'm trying to get with it. I have an Instagram account, but I never really did anything with it.
You do now?
I do now. So you know that's where to get the recipes, right? You can go Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. They'll actually be posted on Facebook because they're too long for Instagram, usually. And then the videos, once they're off of Twitch, are available on YouTube. So if you ever are like, how did she do that again? Or how did she mess that up? I don't want to mess it up like she did. You can always go back and watch the parts of the video on that. Do you want a t-shirt cake?
I thought I was getting ice cream. Right now I just have a dog.
You can have both. You can
I
have,
can have a
both.
dog and ice cream?
Yeah. Maybe we'll do it at the racetrack while you're in a car going around the racetrack really fast.
That's not a go-kart.
It's better.
They won't let me.
Oh, thank you for the kisses. Thank you for the kisses. Is it getting close to bedtime?
Hey, the other one finally
Oh,
went
it
up a
is
degree.
bedtime. Huh?
It was at 138 for a long time.
When it finally went up? Okay. We're getting close. We're getting close. Thanks for hanging with us. We appreciate it. So Joyce, a chocolate chip cookie cake is absolutely fine. You can do that for him. He'll be happy. But you have to make him his own separate cake so that nobody else can have it. So you'll have to make another one for the rest of us to eat while he gets his own t-shirt cake, but make it this big. So 6-layer strawberry shortcake. Would you like, is that like for the birthday, or is that something you'd like to see made on the show? Because I love strawberry shortcake. I used to make a faux strawberry shortcake for the kids all the time growing up. Both. Okay. Ooh, so make it on the thing for him for his birthday. I think he would like that. As long as I gave him ice cream with it, he'd be happy. So I'll have to think about what that's going to look like. Cool.
Are you guys making plans without me?
We are. We are.
It's a good thing I can just go back and rewatch this tomorrow.
That's not a good idea. I mean, you're not giving me ideas. Give me an idea. What would you like to do for your birthday? Don't you think you should be doing that? Giving me ideas?
Spelunking.
Spelunking.
Because that works out really well for tall people.
If that's what you want. Is that what you want?
The last time we did that, it wasn't too bad, except that we had flashlights that were from like the 1970s.
Oh, so Robbie and I took, was that 2018? No. That wasn't the year Kelsey got married, was it? Was it the year before?
I think it was on the way back from Santa Fe. Right?
No. We were in California. It's when we did the Redwood Forest and...
I was in California, huh?
Yeah. We were driving back and we saw the lava field. So we took this trip to California and we kind of drove around California, went up into Oregon, went to Crater Lake, and it was the end of the season, so there weren't a lot of people around, the busy season. And as we're driving back to go to Lassen National Forest, we saw a thing that said National Monument Lava Fields or something like that. So we decided to go there, and it's literally just this giant lava field, but there's all these lava tubes. And so if you go in, and they give you like flashlights so you can go into these caves and stuff, and there's no light. Like, these are not lit caves. Parts of them are pitch black. There are parts where you have to crawl. We're like, so give us the one, show us the ones where we don't have to crawl anywhere.
Yeah, we'll take the beginner ones.
They were the worst flashlights ever. Like, I'm so glad we weren't like going anyplace pitch black, because I think the flashlights were those big flashlights from like and these probably were left from like the 1970s or 80s.
Our cell phones had to be 10 times brighter.
Yeah. When we turned the cell phones on, they were so much brighter. Sometimes we were like, like in the movies, why isn't my flashlight working? Is there something coming? Because my flashlight's not working. But it was like rocky, climbing down into stuff. It was super cool, especially for just a side trip that we
weren't
didn't
really
even
expecting that.
do that. Crater Lake was amazing. The Redwood Forest were amazing. And even like, if you haven't, like, we found places we had never heard of, like Lassen Volcanic National Forest or whatever it is, and beautiful trails. And then they've got like the sulfur works there, so you can see like and smell the hot sulfur bubbling out of the ground. It was cool.
Don't jump in.
And it literally said, several people a year go to the hospital and die. Please do not go beyond this point. So,
it's just boiling water.
With sulfur in it.
With sulfur in it.
With sulfur in it.
It's quite hot.
Yeah, and it wasn't water.
You wouldn't, well, I'm just saying, you wouldn't jump into a pot of boiling water. So don't go into the springs that are bubbling.
People are stupid sometimes. And somebody, while we were on vacation, took a selfie. A couple took a selfie and fell off a cliff and died, I think, right? because it went beyond the thing. And so Robbie's mom texted us and said, "Was that you?"
Thankfully, it was not.
No, and if it was, we probably would not have answered because we'd be dead. But
We were safe.
sulfur, man, it smelled bad. It smelled so bad. We were suffering for sure when that happened. Hey, these are at 140 and 141. Would you like to go pull those off?
Yes.
Because they're at 140 and 141.
Oh, you want 140, not 145?
Yes.
Oh.
Has he been listening? I've been saying 140 so that they can come out and come to 10 while they
You
rest.
say that like I'm supposed to pay attention or something. All right.
See, this is the part where my mom would be, "Why aren't you listening?" I love my mom. My mom was awesome. You were happy when we answered. I know you were. Also happy that we didn't get eaten by cougars, or what were some of the other things you were worried about. So, but thanks for being here, Robbie's mom. I so appreciate your support. I appreciate everybody's support. I'm so glad you guys are still hanging around, even though we're just waiting for food. I'm gonna put a little of this in case we want some extra glaze. Do you see how, like, after the glaze was sitting around a little bit, it still should be a little thicker, but it's starting to look a little more brown. Oh my gosh.
Cutting board.
Yeah. Oh, they smell good. Oh my gosh, so good.
I'll prepare this on.
Woo! Yeah. They're a little too hot for me to pick up. Those are not for you. Those are not for you. It is past his bedtime. So he's about to get crazy.
Was Rocky trying to steal them already?
Yep, he sure was. What do you think? Does that look good? Those are pork chops. They are double pork chops, and they are also Berkshire pork chops. Here, let's put it like that for the picture. I gotta take a picture before we eat that. So sorry, you'll have to wait for that too. So I need your phone because my phone is currently being used as a camera. Look at that. Is that not amazing? Holy cow. And then we have those potatoes over there. Everything smells so good. Not to pat myself on the back, but it does. Can I take a picture with your camera?
Oh. You did say that. She did say that, didn't she?
I did say that. The juices are dripping, I know. Oh my gosh, and we're gonna eat them in front of you. So you can use this glaze you do on any kind of pork. I think it would be delicious. You do not need to buy these double pork chops because they were. Can you see that? Can you see him? Look at that. You can. No, get down.
It's like you don't eat him.
Oh my gosh. This is the hard part. You know, Joyce, get in the car. Come on over. You can have some. More than happy to have you. Come eat. Yeah, you. I mean, your mom can come over too. I have no problem with that. All right. Do you see that? Do you see that? That's how I like my pork, right there. Right, like that. That not too pink. It's cooked through, but it's got a little pink in there. So that's how I like. There you go. Would you like that piece there?
Amazing.
That's so good. I've already been eating some of this salad, so I know that I like that.
Why isn't this on the wheel? This is way better.
Because would have to always be prepared with it.
I'm okay with that.
Potatoes are excellent. And if for some reason you don't want cheese, another way my mom used to do these potatoes is you could do like a butter sauce with some onions, and we call those scallop potatoes. So I think she made those more often than the au gratin potatoes.
Totally worth the wait. Did you remember to activate smell-o-vision for chat?
Sorry, I forgot smell-o-vision for you guys. All right. Are we going to rate somebody now that we've been eating? Are you guys ready? Robbie's going to go find somebody for us to rate. I'm just going to sit here and eat. Actually, I'm going to make myself another drink. Do you need one?
Ooh, yes, please. You're
Okay.
welcome.
Thank you, Baloney Kid. I'm glad to have you as part of the family here. All right, I got to make another drink. If you weren't here, Baloney Kid, we made a drink called the Dark and Stormy. Except not really, because
Trademark.
that's a trademark name.
It's similar-ish.
It's similar.
It's quite dim and rainy. That name's probably going to catch on.
What name?
It said quite dim and rainy.
Dim and rainy. So, let's do this again. And this is one of those, to make it, you really want it in a glass where you can see the actual drink. Did you get the piece of ice for me? Thank you. I'm gonna put that back there. And does anybody remember this was like 1.5 of the ginger syrup? I had a cheat sheet in front of me. Rockies, I see. Need it with the pork chops, absolutely. This is really good. Okay, I need some lime juice. How much lime juice did I have? I can't remember.
I think you said
Half
half
an
an
ounce.
ounce.
Yeah. Let's see if there's enough in here. Just enough. And then we need a little of this, which is just something sparkling. It's got a little lime flavor in it. And you want to put them in this order in order to get that effect, right? Is there still, yeah, my spoon's still over there. We want it to have layers. There, oops, I spilled, and it's with dark rum. And the darker the better, supposedly. Oh my goodness, what am I doing here?
And while it looks nice, it definitely tastes better if you go ahead and stir it.
Right, no, this is the way you serve it, right? You serve it that way. And then where did my lines go?
Are
they in front of me?
They're right in front of her.
Well, they're hiding. They're hiding.
In front of you.
In front of me.
Hiding in front of her.
Ow.
Well, don't hurt yourself. That's what the wheel is for.
Okay, this one on the right is yours. Agave straws. Perfect. Are we ready to raid? There we go. So that's our fake dark and stormy with ginger syrup. That was ginger syrup for those of you who weren't here when we made them originally. So it gives you kind of a ginger ale-y feel. All right, we're gonna go check out Chef Steve. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're gonna be back on Sunday at 5, and we're gonna be cooking some Cuban food. So come back and join us. We'll make some mojitos.
Thanks for all the subs and follows today, guys.
And thank you so much for all the subs and follows. I really appreciate you guys. I will hopefully see you guys on Sunday. Have a good rest of your week. Bye.
And we'll talk about the skydiving later.
Yes, we'll talk about the skydiving.
All right, thanks, guys.
Bye. How many?